got some action today.
Cracking.
James, can I ask you first, what do you make of the way that this guy has probably been the best at defending Jokic this season thus far? What have you seen with the big matchup in this series?
It's a variety of things. Zue is able to contest with the size. He's been playing against him for a very long time, so he knows pretty much his tendencies and what Joker likes to do. He's a tough cover, but I think Zue does an unbelievable job on him, like contesting the shot and matching his physicality in the post.
James, when the All-Star game was rolling around, you had mentioned how much of an honor it would be to get selected, and you obviously were able to go and be represented in that way. Similar question this time around, what would it mean with the season that you've put together, what you've done with this team, the expectations that this team had to make an All-NBA team?
Of course, it's always an honor to be one of the top 15 players in the league. For me, I think the individual accolades is great, but I think for me, or the entire team, we got one goal. So, of course, if I'm selected, it's an honor. I'm grateful for it. But I've been having so much fun with this team, man. So the ultimate goal for us is to be the last team standing. So that'll be even more of an accomplishment. Y'all know Zue here too, right?
I'm just security.
I was going to ask you, Zue.
We talked to him on Sunday, though. Well, I was going to ask, you guys talked about ending the season playing well, playing on a high level. It's easier said than done, but now that you guys have done that, what do you think that can kind of do heading into the playoff series against someone like Jokic?
Boost for us. You know what I mean? I think we know who we are. Like defensively, we have to be great every single night, and then offensively, it can be any one of us that got it going. You know what I mean? Like to where Zue getting post ups or Y and Norm or myself or Bogey. So for us, I think the game is going to dictate who got it going. You know what I mean? But defensively, I think that's the most important thing. Is us making sure we locked in on that side of the basketball.
Chris is obviously going to be a big part of what you guys do defensively, but talk about a little bit about what he did on Sunday against Steph. I know Steph got his, but what does it say about him that Steph got his own, but Steph just had to work for every single play?
Yeah, I mean, this is the league. You know what I mean? Like, the best players are gonna make shots. They're gonna make it. But you can't get too low. You can't get too high. You got to be even keel. And for us, I think we were resilient. You know what I mean? He made shots, and we just kept our composure, and ultimately we came with the win. So in the playoffs, it's gonna be ups and downs. You know what I mean? Whether you're up 1-0, 2-0, or you're down 0-2. You know what I mean? So you just got to be even keeled. You got to continue to do your job at the highest level, and you look at the results.
You've had a
career year across the board. What does it mean? You've had a career year across the board. What does it mean to you to have James to be a part of that to help you through this season?
Means a lot. He's part of it, of course. I don't think any of this would be possible without my teammates and James leading that. He's been really good for all of us on the team. He's setting everyone up. He communicates. He got all the experience in the world. Got a lot of stuff we learned from him, and none of this would be
testament to his work.
None of this would be possible without James.
I was going to ask you that, but from the time you first played against him, not being a teammate, how much have you seen him grow as a player?
I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
Be more specific, James.
Go in the cold.
I just experience, man. Like, being on the court, you get the experience, and for him, you know what I mean? Like he works, jump hooks, defensively, body positioning, defensively helping the guys out. Like both sides of the ball, he's grown into an elite big in this league. And, I don't think anybody saw that coming. Honestly, I don't even think he saw it coming. But he's grown so much, and he's only going to continue to get better, which is the scary part.
Zue, I know it's been 5 years since you played them in the playoffs, but is there anything you could take from that series into this, or has it just been too long?
No, I was 22. I'm a way different player now, and all the experience I got now, it's going to be a lot different on both sides. So I don't think you can take much from that series.
What's the most exciting thing for you about being in the playoffs? You've been playing in this league now for all these years, but another
opportunity to reach the ultimate goal. you don't really take it for granted. You know what I mean? Like a lot of guys don't get an opportunity to make the playoffs. So for me, I don't ever take it for granted. You know, each game, each possession is different. You know, each series is different. So you just take it one game at a time. And literally, like I just said, you don't get too high, you get too low. But another opportunity for me and to do something special.
How does the collaboration change now that you're in the playoffs with the coaching staff specifically?
What you mean?
You mentioned before that a big part of how you want to feel connected to what your role is working with the coaches and everything. Like, how does that change? What stays the same?
Everything is aligned. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like from the coaching staff to our team, like, we've been so connected this entire year. We're peaking at the right time. So, you know, Saturday can't come soon enough.
James, I want to give you your flowers first off for overcoming all the adversity you've been through since the beginning. If you can go back in time to talk to your past self just entering the draft, what would you say?
That's a good question. Honestly, I really didn't know how hard you had to work. You know what I mean? Like, in the sacrifice that you had to do to be able to be standing where I'm standing, if that makes sense. So, like, you know, a lot of guys make it to the NBA, you know what I mean? And then it's another thing to, you know, stick in the NBA and then to be playing 16 years and then at the highest level. Like, there's so many different variables that go into it to where you got to be a different type of breed. And for me, I just had the mindset to, you know, whether it's coming off the bench or, you know, taking a role, a step back in my role, whatever the case may be, it just, you know, finding joy in the game and loving it and continue to push even when things aren't looking like they're the best.
When you look at this team itself, has a lot of really good isolation players, right? Able to get in their own bucket. Zoo now, like,
Yes.
where does that even, like, in a playoff series when it comes to a half-court game? How does that help you?
Because after game, first of all, man, like, we're going over to Denver. Denver knows us. We know them. After game 2-3, we make the adjustments. All right, the plays don't matter no more. You know what I mean? It's about one-on-one, go get a bucket. You know, who's guarding who. And, you know, for us, you know, we got a handful of guys that can do that. You know what I mean? Obviously, Zoo in the post, myself, Bob. We got a lot of guys that can, you know, create opportunities. So for me, it's not even, you know, obviously creating my own shot, but getting opportunities to, you know, get other guys involved too. So I think that's what we separate ourselves.
What do you look forward to defensively? Like, being on the floor in this team, what excites you about playing defense and your role?
Yeah.
No,
just knowing that I got him behind me, you know what I mean, to have my back, and, you know, other guys, obviously Katie and, you know, Y and DJ, like our entire team, man, we've been, like I said, so connected this entire year. Like, it makes it fun, you know what I mean, knowing somebody got your back and then offensively, you know, just sharing the basketball, you know, seeing Zoo get 20s and 20s, that's exciting, you know what I mean, that's like, you know what I mean, it's a different feeling.
Zoo.
James, you guys haven't seen the Nuggets, you know, since January 8th. Other than health, how different are you guys seeing when you see you guys self-protect?
Completely different team. You know, I don't even know who was playing, you know, when we played them. But I just know our team is different. We got, you know, we added Bogie, you know, Ben, Wyatt healthy. It's a completely different team. So,
Zoo, there's been some prominent people over the last couple of days who have said they're either voting for you for most improved or, you know, all NBA. When you hear that from people who do have votes, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I was never in any conversation about any awards, so just being in a conversation and being able to have a chance at one of those means a lot. It means it came a long way, and just motivation to push even harder, play even harder.
Are you mindful of the fact that team success often leads to individual recognition like that?
Yeah, of course. None of this would be possible if the team wasn't playing good, if the guys weren't playing well, if we weren't winning games. None of this would be possible, and each one of us knows that, and we all know if we play good, we all look good, so that's all that matters.
The fact that you guys have like 4 players that can literally take over games with Norman and Kawhi and James and yourself. Does that guy give you guys an advantage over many teams that you have so many different players that can actually take over a game?
We got different weapons, and I'm saying I wouldn't go to a war with anyone else but these guys. James, Kawhi, Norm, Bogey, DJ, Katie, all the guys on the team. I think are dogs, both ends of the floor. We've been doing it all year, and we're
An opportunity.
yeah.
We've seen one on-court chemistry building over the last couple of months. When you have a game like Sundays, the Warriors throw that zone at you, you guys get the small fucking roll. Chris finds a floater once, he finds you for a lot. Like, do those experiences, are you still learning to play with each other in those different situations where you get a zone thrown at you in a fourth quarter like that?
We've seen pretty much every defense. You know what I mean? So I think it's us just recognizing what defense they're in, and then like, all right, this is what they're doing. This is how we capitalize off of it. And like the sooner and the quicker we do it, like now our team's got to adjust to something else. And at that point, we got them. So it's about just executing for us, not turning the basketball over and getting back in transition. Those are the two things. But we've seen every defense, so nothing really surprises us.
James, after the Warriors game, Steph spoke really highly of you and just talked about how far back you guys go. He talked about you guys kicking it in college with Jet Teague and 09 and whatnot. Just what can you say not only about the longevity that you two guys have, but you mentioned it a little bit, still doing that at a really high level in 2025.
That's what it's about, man. Like year 16, Steph is obviously Steph. Like what he's been able to accomplish his entire career, it's unbelievable. Like we're all witnessing like real greatness. But the battles, the Warrior teams that I had to go against is it's probably the reason why I still haven't got a championship yet. But what he's been able to do his entire career is unbelievable. I'm happy to be a part of something like that.
Thank you.